The corruption is spilling out faster than they can contain it. Three of Trump's biggest enemies all caught in the same financial scandal in the exact same time. Coincidence? While that bomb detonates, Chuck Schumer just revealed the Democrats' price for keeping the government open, and it'll make your blood boil. $500 million for propaganda, free health care for illegals, and a spending explosion that would bankrupt your grandchildren. The timing isn't accidental. As Trump's Justice Department is closing in, the establishment's using the shutdown as a human shield. They're holding your paycheck hostage to protect their dirty secrets. The ransom note is on the table. Now keep on watching. But first, a word from our sponsor, because we recently covered a company called Western Star Resources here on the channel, a gold and silver exploration company we believed had serious potential for U.S. expansion. Well, it looks like that move is already in motion. Western Star just signed an MOU with the American Corp to push forward their U.S. growth strategy, and here is why the timing is so important. With domestic demand for precious metals climbing year after year, and with the U.S. government making it clear they want more homegrown exploration instead of relying on foreign supply, companies like Western Star are in a prime position. Not just about mining, it's about national security, economic stability, and capturing a huge market opportunity. Western Star's expertise, combined with a supportive policy environment, means they are stepping into the U.S. market under the best possible conditions. Could a huge U.S. expansion be next? I wouldn't bet against it. Western Star Resources is making gold and silver great again. Check them out. Link in the description, westernstarresources.com, and we thank them for their support of our channel. Now, this just in. A bombshell revelation. Representative Tim Burchett has gone public with explosive allegations against his fellow lawmakers. Yeah, he's not a popular guy on Capitol Hill anymore. He's accusing them of engaging in rampant insider trading. Now, this is stuff we've covered here. We know what goes on. He says for years, members of Congress have been getting rich using hardworking Americans' taxpayer money. U.S. Capitol just a few hours ago.
No nicknames for the No nicknames for the
You know, it's kind of funny when you deal with this stuff. And I talked to the ethics people the other day. Everybody knows I make these crazy skateboards, and people asking, "Hey, sell me a skateboard." So I said, "Well, let me go check it out with ethics." I literally got to get attorneys involved to sell a dadgum skateboard. But if I want to do insider stock trading, just get elected to Congress. Really, I mean, let's just be honest. Look. Everybody ought to do like I do. Get their $12,000 portfolio in a mutual fund. Let my buddy Tommy Seiler handle it. He does pretty well. Although my daughter's going to school now, so I'll be cashing that out very soon. But look, we're public servants. We're stewards of the community. Nobody's above the law. You hear that? It's kind of become cliche up here. But for years, members of Congress, we know they've gotten rich using hardworking American taxpayers' money. Members sit on committees. We attend private meetings where we gain privileged information about companies. Congress appropriates money to economic sectors that may overlap with members' own portfolios. I call it the war pimps a lot. I worry about us voting on wars that we're going to send our kids off to that we couldn't even find on a dadgum globe. And members owning stock in those things. The American taxpayer always gets the short end of the stick, and Congress seems to profit at their expense. This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayer's dime, and dadgummit, it's got to stop. The president's already said he would sign a bill banning stock trading for members of Congress if passed. I think the real test is going to be whether Congress has the guts to stand up and do what's right. And I'm proud of all these people up here. I don't agree with them. Some of these people on anything. If Cortez told me the sun was coming up tomorrow, I'd go out and check it out.
Tim Burchett not holding back over on MSNBC. Chris Hayes says allegations against Lisa Cook, Adam Schiff, and Letitia James. Trying to make excuses. Listen.
Market mission to immediately fire the only black woman serving on the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors, a woman who's appointed by Joe Biden. Now, this is part of Donald Trump's unprecedented attempt to just get control of the Federal Reserve Board so he can personally dictate the country's monetary policy in violation of the entire structure of the independent central bank that we've had for over 100 years. Trump claims that he legally can fire that governor, Lisa Cook, for cause.
Yes, he can, for cause.
The cause, he says, is alleged mortgage fraud. The White House says that in 2021, Cook took out a mortgage on a condo in Atlanta. This is before she even joined the Fed. And she told the lender it would be her primary residence when she already had a primary home in Michigan. Now, if those allegations weirdly sound familiar, well, it's because Cook isn't alone.
She is just the latest perceived political enemy of the president to face mortgage fraud accusations. NBC News reported this same month that Bondi had appointed former interim U.S. Attorney Ed Martin to serve as a special attorney to investigate similar allegations against California Senator Adam Schiff and New York State Attorney General Letitia James.
Okay, so allegations against Lisa Cook and California Senator Adam Schiff, New York Attorney General Letitia James. It does seem more than a little odd that three people Trump has it out for just all happen to commit the same infraction, doesn't it? Like, where are all these allegations of specifically mortgage fraud coming from? Well, from one man, it turns out. This guy, his name is Bill Pulte. He is the heir to a construction empire, and he's a big Trump donor who regularly blasts out pro-MAGA messages to his 3 million Twitter followers. And Pulte was handpicked by Trump to run the Federal Housing Finance Authority. It's a big job. Job is basically to oversee U.S. mortgage markets, which is an important job, to jumpstart home sales, improve housing affordability. But he also has access to mortgage documents from millions of American homeowners. And boy, it sure seems that he has been searching them for the dirt the administration could use against its adversaries. In fact, he is the one that referred Schiff and James to the DOJ for prosecution. And in the case of Lisa Cook, ginned up a pretext for her illegal firing.
Yeah, let it rip, baby. Let it rip. Payback's a bitch.
Never seen people support crime like this. This is insane. Alleged crime, let's call it that. What she did was wrong. The fact that she hasn't come out and said, hey, these aren't my documents, or some rational explanation for this alleged crime, why is she not doing it? It doesn't make any sense.
I think what they're saying, it seems unusual. You're not, I don't think your primary role at what you're doing now is to seek out and find mortgage fraud.
That's completely false.
I mean, either way, listen, Chris Hayes is going to go ahead and carry water for the radical leftist that he's been carrying water for years. So, personally, I don't care. If President Trump wants to go use one of his henchmen to go through all the records of mortgages and with a fine-tooth comb and specifically target Letitia James, Adam Schiff, Lisa Cook, I say go for it. Do it. Get us more names. All right? Because it's time. I mean, that's small potatoes compared to what they did to him. Okay? So, let her rip, baby. Let her rip. Yeah, Chris Hayes is going to cry all he wants. Oh, what's this? See, they're all screaming. What? Lisa Cook? Letitia James? What's the pattern, folks? Who's Mike Brady? Gen X snark on tap. He's a tennis junkie, political fire starter, walking 80s and 90s time capsule with spicy opinions. 6,333 followers. He notices a pattern, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank God. Right? He's quote tweeting Lucas Sanders. Donald Trump is expected to fire U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia after his office was unable to find incriminating evidence of mortgage fraud against Letitia James. What?
The president's enemy. He's now using the power of the federal government, making a new move against the New York Attorney General who prosecuted him, Letitia James.
George, this is a major escalation of the president's effort to get retribution against his political rivals. ABC News has learned that President Trump is expected to fire a top federal prosecutor for failing to file criminal charges against Letitia James, somebody who is obviously very high on the president's enemies list.
Yeah, good. If you're not gonna carry water for the president of the United States, if you're not gonna find the charges, keep digging. Find someone who will. Okay? Tish James and her antics and her rhetoric, she campaigned on destroying this man, Donald Trump. So I have no qualms about supporting an effort to destroy her as retribution. Let's go.
The prosecutor is Eric Siebert. He is the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, arguably the most important U.S. Attorney's office in the country, responsible for the bulk of counterterrorism and espionage cases. And his office has been investigating James for 5 months on allegations of mortgage fraud that have been brought by the administration. He found no evidence to go forward with the prosecution, declined to do so, and now we are told that he will be fired. ABC News has learned that the president intends to put somebody else in the U.S. Attorney's office who will more aggressively.
Great. That's exactly what I freaking voted for. So over there on, what is that? Good Morning America. Yeah, Good Morning America, baby. We got a president who's kicking ass. And now, 6 hours ago, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, it's just been exposed that Chuck Schumer and Democrats Congress are demanding free health insurance for illegal aliens, $500 million for NPR, $1.5 trillion spending increase in exchange for averting a government shutdown. Wow. You know what I say? I always love it when these conversations come up. I say, shut the freaking government down. Shut it down. Okay? They do more damage when their doors are open. But this is just insane. Free health insurance for illegals? $500 million for NPR. I thought NPR was defunded.
It includes. So we've been working really hard to get the House back to the regular appropriations regular order, and we've achieved that. In the House, in a bipartisan fashion, they passed all 12 appropriations bills through the committee, 3 of them off the floor. The Senate passed 3 bills. Remember the old videos on Saturday mornings about how a bill becomes a law? If the House and the Senate disagree on an appropriation spending bill, they go to a conference committee to work it out. We voted to do that. All this is working well, but we're coming up on the end of the fiscal year, September 30th. So we need a few more weeks to finish this good work. So what we did in a responsible manner as Republicans in charge is we offered a totally clean short-term CR to get that job done. Chuck Schumer saw that. He returned a counteroffer that is filled with partisan wish lists and poison pills and demands. It includes, for example, Brett, what Chuck Schumer is arguing for. He wants to reinstate free health care for illegal aliens. He wants to add $500 million to prop up liberal media outlets. And he wants to add a massive $1.4 trillion spending hike to what should be a simple 7-week stopgap funding measure. We can't do that. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So we've been working really hard to get the House back to the regular appropriation.
Man, Chuck Schumer, seriously, dude? You going to try and pull that off? Your rapid response 47 with more. Speaker Johnson.
American people. The ball is in Chuck Schumer's court. I hope he does the right thing. I hope he does not choose to shut the government down and inflict pain unnecessarily on the American people. I hope that they will vote on this clean short-term CR so that we can continue the work to get our appropriations done. The ball is in Chuck Schumer's court.
Even when the government shut down, guys, you know the ball. You know the government keeps operating. Checks still keep going out. It's all fear tactics. Elizabeth Warren, though, she's freaking out. We're on the verge of a government shutdown because Republicans refuse to fix the health care emergency in America. I'm on my way to the Senate floor to sound the alarm. Look at her. She's like panicking. She's like running down the hall. Oh my goodness. She's got her selfie camera up. She's screaming at the American people. Ah!
Of America. We're on the verge of a government shutdown because Republicans refuse to fix the health care emergency in America. I'm on the way to the Senate floor right now to say...
What emergency? What healthcare emergency is there? I cover the news all day long. I haven't heard of a healthcare emergency. Todd, can you confirm real quick? Is there a healthcare emergency? Oh, there's not. Oh, this is more bluster and bullshit. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Okay, back to the panicked Elizabeth Warren.
On the alarm. Look, Donald Trump and the Republicans created a real crisis in this country by ripping away health care from millions of Americans.
Oh, did they do that? Really?
We're talking about seniors being kicked out of nursing homes.
Oh, really?
Mamas who have little kids with cancer watching as life-saving research is shut down.
What did you say?
You said people are going to die?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
hospitals on the brink of collapse. If Republicans want our votes for this budget, they've got to restore health care for millions of Americans. It's really that simple.
You know what? Maybe Pocahontas, instead of heading to the Senate floor, maybe you got a drum circle to go to. All right? I think there's some Native Americans that are missing their chieftain. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. You see, they're cornered and they're desperate. Lisa Cook, Adam Schiff, Letitia James, all suddenly facing the same financial violations. Chris Hayes wants you to believe it's coincidence. Meanwhile, Schumer holding a gun to Americans' heads. Give us $500 million for NPR, propaganda, free health care for illegals, and $1.5 trillion in blood money or we shut down. This is extortion, plain and simple. They know that Trump's DOJ is closing in, so they're using the shutdown as a shield. Speaker Johnson calling their bluff. The ball's in Schumer's court. Either he backs down or owns the shutdown. So here's the real question. Should Republicans refuse any deal that funds NPR or benefits for illegals? Drop a yes or a no. Let's continue this conversation in the comments below. This is not about budgets anymore. It's about whether we negotiate with financial terrorists holding our government hostage. And while the swamp burns, you can gear up with some Next News merch and show them you are not backing down. Shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.